Hi, everyone. It's Deana, and we're here to talk about some details around this book launch we have coming up. Hi, Gail. Um, you're muted, but I know it's early there.
Hi, babe. I'm
Gail
here.
wins the early hour award.
Yes. Hi, y'all.
So I was just saying we're gonna have I've sent all the live interviews over to the editor to get edited for the event. And if you all either were at the first one or watched the video, you see what that looks like. It's just each person talking in their own words about their experience and their chapter, and it's really cool because everybody gets to meet all of you. And so that's underway. The book is like uploaded to Amazon, but we haven't hit publish yet. So it's all ready to go. And we're going to hit publish on February. Blah, that was the last book. September 15th, like we did last time. And the process is we hit live and we have to go in and add all the authors, because when you set up the book, it doesn't allow you to put as many as we have. So we go in that day and we add all the authors, and sometimes it takes a day or two for them to show up. And they show up under the Kindle better than they show up under the paperback. But normally when you go to the book link in Amazon, you see the Kindle version first. So that's where you see all the authors. There's also a way you can go in once we have that done and create your own author page and connect anything you've written to that page. And if you search for me in Amazon, you can see what that looks like. And if you have questions about it, I will try to remember the process to tell you how to do that. I remember it being pretty simple, but if you have issues, just reach out to me. I'll help you figure it out once we have it live. And I have a list of things because I don't want to forget. So once we have the book go live on the 15th, a few things are going to happen. We don't want to promote it yet. We want to wait till the book launch on September 22nd to promote the book. And if you have friends and family that want to support us making bestseller and buy a book at the right time, they need to buy it on the afternoon of September 22nd. Because what we do is we announce it, we put the link in the chat at the event, we ask everybody to buy it then, and then they come back and we ask them, like, did you get Kindle or did you get paperback? You know, we kind of make a question about it so we can see how many people are interacting. But anybody that's not going to physically be at the book launch, they can still purchase in the afternoon of the 22nd, and it will help us get bestseller status. So I wanted to explain that part. The other thing that happens once we go live is I am going to physically mail one copy to each of you. And most of you will get them for the book launch. Sometimes they take longer, it just depends on the shipping and what it is, but I will send them out. And you can also, at launch, the book will be $5.99 and Kindle will be $6.99. Kindle will stay at $6.99, and the paperback after the launch will go up to $14.99, like the first book. And what that does is the royalties on $14.99 is about $5 per book. And that's what goes back to the foundation for us to put towards our events. And so once it's live at $5.99 and I'm sending you a copy, you can also go and buy your own copies at that price at $5.99 if you want more at that time. If you want author copies after the launch, I can get them for you for about $5 a copy plus shipping. So you can call me and say, Deana, I'm going to do an event, or I'm doing a book signing, or I'm doing whatever it is, and I need 30 copies or whatever. Then you can tell me that, and I have to order them for you through KDP at that price. So what I've been doing is just giving a PayPal invoice of like, this is how many books I'm sending you, this is the right address, this is the shipping costs, and then you guys can pay me through PayPal, or if you'd rather pay me another way, that's fine too. So that's kind of how you guys getting books at a cheaper rate works. The foundation doesn't get anything for those books, which is fine. And you can sell them at the $15 for cash or credit card, whatever, at your own events, and that's fine, and you can make money on them. But if anybody buys them through Amazon or like Barnes and Noble or anything like that, it does go back to the foundation. I want to make sure I'm clear about all of that. Let me think what else I can. So the event, as most of you probably know, it should be on your calendar. It's September 22nd, which is a Thursday, and it'll be at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 12 p.m. Pacific. I think 10 a.m. your time, Gail, right? Some 10 or 11.
Right.
And then it's it'll be 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that's the time of the actual book launch. It will be 2 hours. What will happen is I'll do an introduction. We'll play the first video that shows all of the authors talking about their own chapter. And then we'll have some discussion in between. We'll introduce our board. We'll have a couple exercises and breakouts so people get to meet each other. And then we'll show the other video with everybody answering the second question about what was your experience writing and being part of the project. So that will show. And then after that, we'll probably have a little more conversation. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but we end with a video that my husband actually sent me last year, and it's called I Smile by Kirk Franklin. And it addresses depression and anxiety and all this stuff in the video, but it's also like an upbeat, positive message. And it left everybody, I think, in a really good place at the end of our event. So we'll probably end with that again, as far as I know. Last time we had DJ Pre on here, so I didn't have to worry about music, right? So I got to figure that out. If I can, yeah, I'll figure that out. And then let's see what else. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I can't think of what it is. Oh, I'm going to put in the chat the link to the registration page.
Did I register correctly? I wasn't sure. It was a different registration process than it was last time. Last time it had us register as authors, and this time it just kind of went through.
Say it again, Lisa, the word last.
Oh.
Last. I love your accent.
Last.
It's awesome.
So, last time we used Eventbrite. We've used Eventbrite for all of our events up until now. And now we have all the registration on our website. So
I did it right then.
Yeah. And
I
know I know who's the author, and I can go in and change your name. And also we want to share that link and try to get as many people to register as we can. And any author that's listening to this, you have to register to get into the event. So please do that. It's free. There is a chance that people can donate when they register, but it is free for anybody. So please make sure that you're all registered. And when we get close, I'll look. And if I'm missing anybody, I will let you know. I feel like mother hen right now. So we need everybody to register. We had 80 people register for the first book. And we had about 60 to 65 people on the event. So this time, I think we need at least 200 people to register. Like, we have more people that know about this now. And I will be emailing the authors from the first book too, and making sure they know the date and that they try to help promote it, even if they can't be there. So, just, I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I have to ride a gondola to work here in Telluride, right? Yeah, that's my commute. So I always meet people on the gondola, and I don't always talk about this, but I've even given people books on the gondola that I met that are like, we have this, you have a 12-minute ride, so you have a conversation.
How awesome is that?
So if I can talk to strangers on the gondola and invite them to the event, you guys know some people you can invite, I'm sure. I'll have to send a picture of it. I have some on my social media, but
Do you have an elevator speech?
well, maybe mine is a gondola speech.
Do you have a gondola speech?
Well, people always ask me what I do and about if I've always lived here. And I'm like, well, I lived here before and I started a business and then I opened an office in Denver and was here less. And then I lost everything and came back. And then they're like, well, what was your business? What are you doing now? What are you know? So if people ask, that's what I tell them. And it always starts a conversation. And I meet so many people from all over the world because like this weekend is Telluride Film Fest. So we have like Hollywood has moved to Telluride for the weekend. And that's why I'm at home working and don't want anything to do with it. But it's an interesting place because it's a really small town. But on any weekend that something big is going on, it like the town size is like 20 times what it normally is. It's kind of crazy. So we have a really big festival in 2 weeks, the Blues and Brews Festival. But anyway, that's all. You know, if you guys want to come visit Telluride, let me know.
I have a question about
Blues and Brutes.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
like blues music and brews, like
Beer. Oh, I thought it was like, you know, Yakai, like
Lisa.
brews, like blues and, you know, brews.
Fight
Never
me.
mind. Never
But
mind.
Deana, I am interested in the elevator speech, meaning if someone says, what do you do now? What is it that in a short piece you would say that it would be helpful for me to know?
yes. And what I really do is I recite our mission on our website, which is the Realize Foundation believes that we can reduce suicide rates by human connection, and we use conversations, community, and personal story to do just that. That's what I say.
Thank you.
And we, if people ask, well, tell me more, what does that mean? Then I start talking about our books and our events and how we have people who have completely transformed. And I know Deb's just listening, but Deb is a perfect example. If you go listen to her interview, because she started with us at the very first summit and she didn't even want to talk or turn her camera on. And then she spoke at the second summit and then she wrote in both of our books. Like she's had a really big transformation through this process. And so I think that, you know, I'm doing this radio interview on Tuesday and this lady who is interviewing me was like, she's messaging me on Facebook last night about it. And I think she's a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist or something, or she was. I don't think she practices anymore. But she kept asking me, how do you help people? How do you help people? And I would tell her what we do. How do you help people? I'm like, so we finally just got on a call. She's like, well, can you send me 20 questions to ask you? And I'm like, absolutely. That would be better than me like letting you ask me what you're going to ask me. So it's just, you know, there are people in the mental health world that are licensed and bonded in degrees and all these things that don't think what I'm doing is legit, or it's not that it's not legit, but that it's like, yes, Linda, RSVP is the same thing, I think.
What people? Who?
No, I'm just saying I've had a lot of criticism over
A lot. You've had a lot.
the past 2 years
Really?
about me. What credentials do I have to talk about mental health and suicide?
I'm
had-
shocked at that. I really am.
Many people ask me that question. And, you know, I say, well, I kind of wonder if some of my therapists had any credentials to talk to me because they've never been depressed. So, you know, I feel like it goes both ways. And I feel like people who have lived experience that have healed from it can help people maybe in a different way. But sometimes I think it's better because you know, for 23 years, I didn't get help because I didn't want to go to a therapist. So there's other people in the world like me. And that's
So
how I feel about it.
what an easy response to that is, I don't know if you're aware, but the trend is peer-to-peer support and people with lived experience helping each other. It's that simple. I mean, it's been the foundation of AA and NA and all those other A's for a million years. It's, one addict helping another or whatever. It's just peer-to-peer support and lived experience. Nobody can really undercut that. They really can't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm just saying there are people out there who
Yeah.
question my capacity to do what I'm doing. And it bothered me at first. It doesn't bother me anymore because
Send them to me.
I know what we're doing and I know that it's helping people. So
I shared office space with my stepfather for years. He's a psychologist. And I would see people walk into his office like, forlorn, and then come out 45, 50 minutes later, the same way, because really in his position as a doctor would just be rehashing this shit with people, and what you're providing is more like real time, real world and experiential transformation. That's where the good shit lies, in my opinion.
yeah, and I am really careful to say that I'm not discounting other resources that help people. I mean, some people need medication, some people need therapy, some people need a hotline. But what we're doing is just a different approach. And I think that there's a place for all of it, and
There's not just a place for it. It's necessary. I mean, I have the numbers if we need them for maybe the website or something, but the ratio of psychiatrists per citizen of the United States is something like one psychiatrist per 25,000 people. And yeah, if you spread it all, because they're concentrated in certain city areas or whatever. And the psychologists are like, there's one psychologist for every like 3,000 people or something. So there's not enough affordable, accessible, and effective care to go around. So we have to form organizations like this because there's no way that we can keep up with the capacity of people who need help. And so if people come and they address it at a peer level, maybe they never get to the level where they need the stepped up care of psychiatry and so on and so forth. So we kind of can help stop that overcrowding in that area where maybe it's not necessary. Maybe they need, their step is just a little bit above, like learning how stress management or something. So where it doesn't get to the point to where they're at the end of their rope, and throwing it over something to, so.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you, Lisa. And I think that, part of what I say to people in those conversations is that, our stories and our books, they cover all kinds of adversity in life. And it's all kinds of adversity at life that get people to suicidal ideation. So if we can meet them in that struggle before they get to ideation, then we are reducing suicide rates.
Right.
So I just always go back to our mission is like, it's the human connection. It's the personal story. It's the community. It's the conversations. That's what makes a difference. And it doesn't necessarily fix somebody who is, needing medication or needing inpatient care, but it helps us keep them from getting there. And to me, that's important.
And we
And
can
maybe-
also help identify somebody who's in crisis and needs a higher level of care and steer them to the resources that can help them.
And maybe when we introduce the board at this event, we can talk about this.
Okay.
Because I think it's really important for people to hear this that don't understand, or the biggest question I get in general, if we look at everything that people come to me or ask us about, is I have a loved one that is suicidal and I don't know what to do or say. That is one of the biggest things that I get asked. And I think that, that's why we did the Hope course on the main. I know it's just 4 short videos, but it's still informational. And I think it's important. And if we can clarify some of that on these events where, we're not just talking about our stories in our book, but we're talking more about our mission and why, so I think it's important for us as a board to do that. And maybe we need to have a quick call before the event to talk about that.
I think that's a good idea. Are all the board members going to be on the launch?
I need to I need to check in with Dan. I'm pretty sure Dan will be. I need to check in with James. And I have a new person that I'm talking to that has been to some of our events last year. And she is a police dispatcher. So I think
Nice.
she might be joining our board. So
Okay.
for all of you listening, we might have got off topic about the book for a minute, but I think this is also really important because it goes into why we're even doing what we're doing. And the other thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot earlier is the social media and the promotion of the event and the book. And I have scheduled a day for each person. And today was the first one. Today I posted about Christy Collins, and I'm going to go in order of the chapters of the book. So I'm just going to do it that way. But what I'm doing is I'm posting your picture with a quote, and then I'm writing something about your chapter, and it also has all the information about how to register and all that. And it's being posted on the Facebook Realize Foundation page and the LinkedIn Realize Foundation page. For some reason, I cannot get my Realize Instagram account connected to the scheduling software. So I'll keep trying to do that, or I might just start posting different things on Instagram so people aren't seeing the same thing everywhere they go. But if you guys could like, share, comment on those posts as much as possible, whether they're yours or not. And if you don't want to share all of them, then just comment or like, or whatever you can do to help us get more activity, because we have 5,000 people following that page. So if we can get more interaction, I think we're going to reach more people. That's on our Facebook page. We have almost 6,000 people following the Facebook page.
So what could help that, Deana, is if your scheduling software could be consistent with when that goes out, and we are aware of that schedule and we have the opportunity, we can time your post with our comments, because that's how the algorithm works, at least for Facebook, is if you post it and then someone likes and comments immediately and then you respond and then we respond, like that immediate interaction is what bumps it up in the algorithms. So that small window of time from when you post to when somebody responds is important in getting it promoted in the news feed. So if we know what time you're going to post, like somebody like me who basically does nothing all day, can just sit around and wait for that post and hit like and comment or whatever,
So we talking about you snuggle with dogs all day.
Yeah.
Something.
So I just scheduled them really late last night. I wanted to have this call to see if I needed to change anything, but I'm going to send an email out after this call with the list of who I'm posting each day. And it's going to be at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. It's going to post. I know that's super early for you, Gail, so you can comment on it later, but if everybody would share their own at least, or another one that maybe is a similar subject or something that you're passionate about, and just comment and like and talk about excitement around the event and stuff like that. I do have the register link in the below each post when it posts. So there is already information there for them to know how to register. But yeah, I think that the interaction, to your point, Lisa, is really key in us reaching more people. And I really hope that my goal of 200 registrants for this gets blown out of the water. So
I find that when I post something about like a video interview of someone else on my business page, it gets more interest than my own because they're sick of seeing my face. So it helps me. It helps my business views, because I have like, I don't know, almost 7,000 followers on my business page. And like, unless I do something radical to promote it, 4 or 5 people maybe see it these days, so putting somebody else's face up there gets people to pay attention because they're sick of seeing my face.
well, all of our live interviews are on both of those platforms as well. And they're on our YouTube channel. So, we don't have many subscribers on our YouTube channel. So that's something else if everybody could do that, or if you share your own interview somewhere on your webpage or wherever, you could take the YouTube link and use that, or embed it. That would help us get more action on our YouTube page. And I know everybody has their own goals with social media and their own business and all of that. But I'm just mentioning all of this in case everybody could do one part of it, could really help us reach more people. And that's the goal. It's not about we want the Realize Foundation to be famous. It's about how many people can we reach and help. So think of it that way.
How long is the event?
2 hours.
I thought so. And this is a legit question. So take it seriously. Why would somebody attend this 2-hour event? Take 2 hours of their time to explore some idea around suicide prevention. Now, I'm not knocking it, of course. I just want like a real, let's talk turkey here. Why would they?
Well, I think that this is a very important issue for a lot of people in the world right now. And I think we do have a different approach. We're not doing what American Association of Suicidology is doing. We're not doing what NAMI's doing. We're not doing what all these other organizations are doing. And I think that it's a different approach where people can come here and find support in a way that they can't get anywhere else, in my opinion. And I also think it's not only about either them coming here and learning how to support someone they love, or coming here as they're in their own struggle, trying to figure out what can I do to help myself. But it's also connecting with other people, because a lot of, part of what I talk about in the Hope course on our website is who are you surrounding yourself with? If you have people in your life that are tearing you down constantly, or you're in an abusive situation, that's all you have around you. You don't have anybody around you who's lifting you up and supporting you and somebody you can talk to. And in this community, they can find that. And so I think that is my argument for people to show up, because it's not only for people struggling, it's for people who are trying to support someone and they don't know what to say. And when you're suicidal and you tell somebody you care about what's going on with you and they just shut down and walk away because they're scared, that is the worst thing they can do. But they don't know any different. And
Or
so
they don't have the capacity to handle such an enormous thing, right?
right. Or they just don't know what to say, and they're scared they're going to say the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So coming to our event gives people the right information to help someone or get help for themselves.
And
I
the
guess
book
I
and the
didn't
book
have an
launch
idea
is
of that.
meeting the author. You get to meet the authors at the book launch. It's also because the book has such a variety of stories that aren't necessarily suicide topic driven. There's really, again, just like the book, there's something for everybody. I think that the book launch is, like if you've been struggling in your life and, there's this, this second in this series of books on overcoming adversity that you might want to check out, meet the authors and find out, 19 different ways that people have learned to overcome, major struggles in their lives. I think that's a good headline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do have a graphic
Thanks, guys.
that I can also send you guys in the email that has a picture of all of the faces in the book. So you can use that and share it if you'd like. The first one, we did that with all black and white photos. And this time I did them with color photos just because so it would look different. If you don't think it's the same thing. But Lisa, I think your picture is the same in both, because
I was like, did I send a color photo? I don't
no, because I took the color photos from the first one and made them black and white, and then this one
Wow.
I just left them as color. But I think there's a lot of different ways we can help people through what we're doing, and there's also a lot of ways we can promote it, and we're definitely not at capacity of what we can do in either side. And the promotions that I'm doing is what I can do on my own, because I don't really have help. So if everybody can just help promote, or if you have ideas and you're like, Deana, I really think you should do this or this or this, let me know. The other thing is I am doing this radio show on Tuesday, which will be all about this. I'm doing a I'm gonna have an article come out in October about my own new book, but it will also have information in it about the foundation. And we're also gonna do an event that's not a book launch, it's just an event for our community in October on the 22nd. So, you know, if people can't make the book launch, maybe they want to sign up for the October event, because it will be more of the same. We won't be focusing on the book, we'll just be focusing on the community and the mission and connecting people. We'll do a lot more breakouts. We'll have some other speakers and stuff like that. And when I talked to Deb a few months ago about, you know, out of the summits and the 3-day event and the books and like everything we've done, like what has helped you the most? And she told me the 3-day event, because she got to connect with the most people. And that is my goal. So if we do this event in October, that's modeled, that's only 1 day or like 5 or 6 hours maybe, but it's modeled after what we did in the 3-day event, I think we can help more people, and we could do that on a quarterly basis moving forward. And hopefully we can get some corporate sponsors to help us sponsor that, because there's a lot of companies that want to say their company is mentally fit or they're promoting mental wellness or whatever it is. And so if they're sponsoring one of our events like that, they're absolutely doing what they're say they're doing. And it's just a matter of finding those companies and getting them. And it would be like, for us to do the event right, we need to have sponsorship of about $5,000, because that pays for someone else to do all the tech, and it pays for the video editing we need. It pays, we've never paid speakers. So this, and none of this money goes to me. Anything we get sponsored that is over and above would go back to the foundation for the next event or for the next book launch.
Are those people doing the next book? Are they going to be the veterans organization sponsoring? I'm curious.
Well, that's another thing I needed to talk about today. That project is being put on hold, and I really don't have all the answers why. I just know that something's going on with Drew, and I don't know what it is. And he is not being very communicative with me. So I hope that we can still do it, but I don't think it's going to happen in November.
He's had a rough 6 months himself, for sure. So
Yeah. I know. I just wish he would communicate with me. That's all.
Yeah, I know. It's hard because then we try and fill in the gaps when there's lack of communication. Our brains want to fill in the whys, and that we never predict in the positive direction. But
yeah, I mean, we up until like late August, everything I thought was a go. People were writing. He knew we had a deadline at the end of August. And then when I tried to follow up with him, he just told me there was a lot going on and he just can't do it. I'm like, okay. So
the time's right.
Exactly. I mean, maybe timing's not right. The right people weren't involved. I don't really know, but that's what I know about that. And I will keep supporting him however I can and see how we can make that work.
Tina, I wanted to just say one thing to all the authors that aren't on this call. You know, this book is an incredible marketing opportunity for your business. I mean, the ways in which you can get your foot in the door for podcast interviews, all sorts of things, create speaking events, all sorts of opportunities to promote your business by using this book that's going to be an Amazon bestseller, to promote yourself as an author and a speaker and an expert on whatever your subject is. And you can be an expert through lived experience. I mean, I've been specializing in PTSD for 20 years. And in 20 years, I've had 3 people ask me about my credentials in 20 years. So I think that's also a matter of just believing yourself that you are the expert. You know what I mean?
I guess an expert can be considered anything you know a little bit more than the next person.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Here's what I know. I'm 1 step ahead of you. Let's go. That's it. But it's a lot of people will write books. They don't even write books to make money off the books. They write books to use as a marketing tool for their business and be, people want to have a reason to book you on a podcast or whatever. If you are an author, a best-selling author or something like that, like that's great, because podcast people are like, they're, they need people every day to, be interviewed on their shows, just like articles in HuffPost and stuff like that. They need constant content. Like you could be submitting articles and now you have this as your, credibility and authority as, being an author of this book. And so there's a lot of ways that you can do that. And you could purchase all those books the day of the launch and then sell them at retail at events that you have, workshops, so on and so forth, and make money on the books that way. There's just a lot of opportunity here for everyone to get what they want out of the process, whether it's just an emotional journey or a business venture or, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. And one huge thing I forgot to tell you about is I know some of you know about the help a reporter out emails. I know you do, Lisa, and probably Gail, but I get those emails every week. And a lot of times I'm too busy and I don't look at them. And a couple weeks ago, I went through them and I answered a few, and I got an email back from this guy. He works for the Epic, it's EPOCH, Epic Times, and he's in New York, and he's doing an article on feel good stories. And he was looking for people who had a story to pitch, and I pitched Scars to Stars, and our book was coming out. And he not only responded, he called me.
Oh my God.
And asked me for more information. And then he wrote me and he said, I pitched 13 stories to the editor and she picked 2, and you are one of them.
Woo.
And so I sent him the first book because he's like, I want to read the book before I write this. And he goes, would you please sign it for me? Because I have a really big collection of signed books. And I'm like, sure. So I sent him a book and he said, I got the book and I need to read it. And I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to be, but I need to read it. And then I will get in touch with you and we'll write this article. So I don't know when that's coming out, but that is actually in the works as well. And then through the exercise of us doing our live interviews, I have 5 people who have reached out to me that were either referred by one of the authors or just saw an interview. 5 people already asking me, when is your next book? We want to write our story. So this is not something that was like, Dean had this crazy idea to write this book and now, let's move on to something else. Like this is going to continue for a long time, I think.
Did you post the PR and marketing tips that I created for the last book? Did you post that in this group?
I did not.
Come
So
on,
because it's got the things like hashtag journo requests that you can research on Twitter, and then it's all journalists requesting, hey, does anybody have experience with this? Who's an expert on that? And you can go to Twitter and set up a Twitter account just as just an author account or your business account, and then go to hashtag journo request or journo requests with an S. And it's all people that are, like freelancers or whatever, looking for people to write stories about. So, like they're looking for you. You don't even have to look for them. There's lots of that stuff on that page if you want to post it in the second group.
I'm trying to remember, Lisa, if you gave a presentation with your tips. So it's a video I need to go find and post in the group so they can watch it. Okay. I will do that.
I mean, Gail, this is perfect timing for you and your new website and everything else to kind of leverage the book, to promote the new website and everything else. It's gorgeous. I love your logo. It's gorgeous, by the way.
Canva. I created it on Canva.
Did you? Wow. That's great.
It happened in 2 minutes. It's just weird.
Oh my gosh.
I redid the whole thing, by the way, Lisa. I was going to have you take another look at it.
Okay.
Because I'm taking a different approach. God, I wish I could get it all straight in my head. But I'll tell you this much. I never even expected to be in this position without Deana.
Well, I think you did. I think I was just the push you needed.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but I never expected the correlation of writing, with what's happening. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool, but
Well,
um,
go
thank
ahead.
you. No, thanks.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the same thing has happened to me because I got asked to speak at IMAX in Vegas in October, and it has put a fire under my butt to get my book done. And thank you, Gail, for your feedback on that one as well.
Yes. Is there anything more I can contribute? Because it's so cool to watch it kind of flesh out.
I know I've been getting more feedback, and it's been all positive. And even Deb told me this morning when we got on the call, she's like, I started reading the first few pages and it's great. So anybody else who wants to see it, I'm happy to send it to you. But
Because you're a shower genius.
Yes.
I know I started putting that under my on my LinkedIn page and stuff. And I know people are like, what the heck is that?
Which is great. Which
That's
is perfect.
it. That's awesome. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
God.
But
Come
it
to
took
Hawaii,
me like,
ladies.
it
Let's
took
have
me,
a shower genius party.
it took me being asked to speak about it to get my ducks in a row, because for
Right.
2 years I've been trying to figure that out. So it's all good. And I hope, hey Taj,
Taj chimes in when I talk about Hawaii.
Just got to the back room, so
oh, we have a Hawaii Jamaica debate here now.
Awesome.
Oh geez, how's your day?
all right, not too bad. Just running around as usual, but just got a little break now. So
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say to you guys, the post that I created for each one of you, I'm gonna send you. I might just put the couple lines and hashtags I wrote for you under each one that I schedule each day. So then you guys can just respond to me and tell me if you want me to change something. But some of them I felt really good about, and some of them was like, I'm not sure if I should say this. So I would like to get your buy-in before I start posting it.
About what? I missed it. What was it?
I'm doing daily posts for
Oh.
for each author.
Yes.
And Linda's or Christie's was today, and I did check with her. I think Linda is tomorrow, so I need to send her hers. But I'm going to send an email with everybody which day I have everybody being posted, and my little blurb that I wrote about you, and the 4 hashtags or whatever that I chose for your chapter, and you can tell me if you want me to change it.
Got
So-
it. Thanks.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Brad's in the house.
Yes, he is. Hi, how are you?
We're doing well. We're almost done, but I'll send the recording to everybody. And I was saying, I'm also going to send a list of who I'm posting each day for the next 3 weeks, and
Okay.
the blurb I wrote about you and your hashtags, and see if you're okay with it, or if you want me to change anything.
Okay.
So, and then you can watch the beginning of this to learn more about the process with the book and the event and all that stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I'm
Better late than never.
super glad, thankful, and blessed to have each person involved in this book. Everybody's stories is amazing. And I will say that Demi, when we were doing the final proof, she raved about the first book for a long time.
Mm,
But when she read this one, she's like, this is really good. I mean,
awesome.
coming from her, that's a big statement. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I think like what Lisa was just talking about, how we can all use this for our own
Mm,
whatever we need, whether it's a personal growth experience or whether it's a marketing experience for our business or whatever it is.
right.
It's something that we can all use to further whatever our own causes and what we're doing. So
Absolutely.
mhm.
Is
Well,
the event the same as the launch?
yeah, the event on September 22nd is the virtual book launch.
Right.
Mhm. And then October 22nd, we have just a community event. So both of them are on our website, and you can register for them, and you can always register for free. The October event, I have some different levels for donors if they want to donate as their registration. And we are starting to look for corporate sponsorship for some of those events, because it's really just about creating awareness and support and
Right.
community around what we're doing. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
And one more thing, Deana, you said that the date for people to purchase this, the best time is the afternoon of the 22nd. Is that right?
Yes, it might be a little earlier your time. I'm just thinking that the time that the event starts, those 2 hours, 1 to 3 that we have the event, that's mountain time, is where we're gonna try to concentrate as many sales as we can. So if we have friends and family are like, oh, I wish I could be there, but I'm working or whatever it is,
Mm,
you can give them the link to register. They can still see the event later. We're gonna share the recording for free, but I don't want to tell people that up front because then they won't come.
yeah.
But if I was saying earlier, Brad, we had 80 people register for the first one. And that was like the first time we ever had anything about a book, and we had 80 people register. And
Wow.
I think a lot of that came from people who were asked for testimonials, people who were just friends of people who were involved that they wanted to support. It just kind of grew our community. And we had about 60 to 65 people on the event the whole time. So
Wow.
if we can, I said, my goal this time is to get at least 200 people to register.
Nice.
So-
Nice. That's awesome.
And I hope we double that. I hope,
Mm,
but we need everybody's help to share the social media stuff and our interviews. And I was saying, you can, all of our live interviews are on the Realize Foundation Facebook page and the Realize Foundation LinkedIn page. And they're also on the Realize Foundation YouTube page. So if you want to
Awesome.
use your own interview somewhere and you use the YouTube link, that helps us get more people there.
absolutely.
If you, and we were also talking about earlier, just coming in and commenting on others, even if you don't want to share all 18 things on your own feed, you can
Right.
still go there and comment and like and interact, and that helps too. And we do have almost 6,000 people on our Facebook page. So
Nice.
we just don't have a lot of interaction because we haven't been trying to do that. And now we're trying
Right.
to do that. So
Right.
I know that's kind of a repeat of something I talked about earlier, but I think it's important. And if somebody missed the beginning, then they hear it now.
Awesome.
When to
Well,
have
I'm
the
going to be,
viewers. I'm sorry, Brad.
That's all-
Forgive
that's
me
awesome.
for,
no, you're
uh,
fine.
the crosshairs. But Deana, to have my friends who wrote reviews, when would they be posting that on Amazon? On the 15th or the 22nd?
Anytime after the 15th when it's live, it might take a day. So I would tell them maybe the 16th or 17th, they can go in and do that.
Thanks.
Thanks for bringing that up, because I didn't mention that earlier. And what were you asking something, Brad?
Actually, I'm going to be starting a podcast, and I'll be doing. Actually, so many people have asked about doing an audio book of the book that I wrote, but I guess one of the first things I'm going to end up doing is really prior to the launch, I'll be bringing that up at the very beginning of one of the chapters that I'll be reading.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, we talked about doing an audio version of the first book, and we just never got around to it. And then that it does cost to do it, so it's just how do we make all that happen? And maybe it's something we do later and we go back and do all of them. But
Anchor, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use Anchor, and I'm going to use that in order to run that into Spotify. So when everything is all done, I can go ahead and put it together as an anthology for the complete work. And I can make that on a third party so people can go ahead and download it.
That's cool.
And Deana, for the record, I've been researching a lot about Audible and audiobook sales, and the 3-hour market, 3-hour book time to listen to a book is really saturated. So now the new suggestion is 5 hours, and I think it's some 50,000 words or something. So the anthologies would certainly qualify for at least reaching that point. They're really there's more demand for the 5-hour audio book these days.
That's interesting. And then we just have to decide, like we talked about, like would we all do our own chapter, or some people didn't like that idea, some people did, so we've had conversations about it, but we're gonna have to have more conversations about it maybe after we get this book launched and see how we can do that. And for those of you who are new to the second book, and I don't know how much I've promoted this, I know it's in your contract, but we give you a formal PDF of the book with only your chapter after 6 months. And so actually, like a couple weeks ago, I sent all the first book authors their chapter. So it has the cover and the advanced praise and table of contents, and then it has their chapter, and then it has my conclusion at the end about our mission and the website. But it does have, and it has your own bio and link and all that in it too. So that's something that people are using for their business, like as a lead magnet or a free giveaway, or just something they post on their website so people can read more about them. So that's something else you guys will get, I guess, in March. So
Awesome.
that's when that will come. And again, I said the video for the event, as soon as it processes, it will be live on our website. Anybody can watch it for free. So once we do get through the event, we will have that link to promote as well. Or, you know, if you want to use part of it for something, that's fine with me too. So,
Awesome.
all right. Does anybody have any other questions or comments?
I wanted to show everybody a little bit of Hawaii at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Lovely.
The colors and the beauty of the ocean. My contribution.
Well, I should turn my camera around and show you the mountains, but I don't know if you can actually see them with my. I
I
can
could put them in
try.
your glasses.
Well, I can
I'm in a
try. It
storeroom,
just
so no
depends
one
on the
wants to see
light.
us.
Tosh, let's see the view.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Woo!
cabinets. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, sexy. Look at
Nice.
you can't
Well,
really
here we go.
you can't really see it, but I will
that. Brad. Teeny tiny window.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a picture of my deck on Facebook somewhere. Might
Yes.
be,
From like a
anyway.
month ago, right?
Yeah, but it's really pretty out there. It's like when you sit in a living room and I look up and my window's like 5 feet away, and like right outside of it are these two aspen trees. There's a lot of aspen trees, but there's two like right by my window. It's like you can also almost reach out. And
Okay.
touch them.
A little bit better. How's that?
Ooh,
Is that a-
sweet.
is that a baseball
Got some
field?
green in that shot.
Yeah.
Looks like a baseball
Well,
field.
I'm at my girlfriend's, so she has a little bit. Her family has a little bit more property than mine does, but it's actually just a beautiful area. So I love it.
And you have a wedding today, right?
Oh, me? Oh gosh, no.
No, I mean,
Are you
it's-
attending a wedding today?
I thought that's what you said. Maybe I misunderstood. Anyway,
The sound is gone. But I just want to say really quick, the excuse me, the whole audio thing, I think that is something you should pursue, because that sort of kept my sanity. So, I mean, I always have at least one earbud in all the time,
wow.
podcast, 24/7, audio books.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. And it's funny you said the whole longer thing, because I don't go for the short ones, like the longer, the better, like
Wow.
15, 16-hour books. Like,
Wow,
nuts.
damn. I didn't even know there
Yeah.
was such a thing.
I think
Yeah,
Todd,
there's-
you get addicted. It's like watching a Netflix series. Like you get into it and then you're like, you have to know what happens.
yeah, exactly. I
Mm.
mean, and even all the old classics that I should have read in high school, I went back and revisited all those audio stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many audiobooks that I've read or listened to rather. They're fabulous. They really are. I mean,
Yep.
half an hour to work, half an hour back to work. If I'm working from home, put those on. I think I'm in my 5th or 6th Brene Brown audible book.
That's
So
cool. I
yeah,
love her.
I do
Yeah, it's
too.
great.
One of my
So
favorites.
I think that is something that we really should pursue, because I know a lot of people, especially that are on the road a lot. I mean, they live by audiobooks. I have a friend that I never thought would have been in the whole self-education stuff and what have you. Actually, the person I quoted in the my chapter 1, my buddy I grew up with, and since he's driving around all the time, and he's the deeper the stuff, the longer it is. Like, he loves that stuff because he's by himself and he just has time to reflect and learn all sorts of crazy stuff, you know?
Turn your drive
Yeah.
time into learning time.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
So
share
that's just
my-
my little 2 cents.
Sweet.
That's really good information, Taj. I'm just gonna share my screen for 1 second. I want to show y'all something. This is this is Catherine from the first book. And she was also the MC at our 3-day event. And I actually just had a call with her yesterday. She lives in Ketchikan, Alaska. And
Oh, wow.
she has a very unique story. Her family has owned a grocery store in Ketchikan for over 100 years. And they lost it all in 2020 to a landslide.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was just really, her story is pretty. And her grandparents were like in Japanese internment camps and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
So it's a really good story. It's in the first book. But I was looking for another picture and I just came across that one. And I thought that's a really great way to promote the book once we have a physical one too, is like just taking a picture of yourself with it. I wish I could find, I'm trying to find my deck picture for you guys. 'Cause now I'm jealous that y'all are showing your pictures and I can't show you mine.
I love that you use that dream big shot that I got
Oh,
there.
so this is the picture from our first book with everybody. So
Mm.
I have a
Love
one
that.
for this book. I'll send it out today in an email with
Can I swap my picture?
yeah. Will you send it to me, the new one?
You bet.
Yes, I will swap it.
It's just the one I'm using as my Facebook profile that I took from my website.
I know it looks awesome.
Then use it or lose it.
Oh well. Can y'all believe that our first Scars to Stars event, this was the logo?
Oh my
Wow.
God. And still 80 people came.
No. This was way before the books. This was like early 2021.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. That was great.
really?
Event. I don't know that it was a great logo.
Yeah, it was a great event. Yeah.
Yeah, Taj and Deb and Catherine and 2 other people were there on the very first ones. I can't find the picture I want to show you. I'm bummed about it. Anyway, this is Wilson
Mhm.
Peak here in Telluride. It's the Coors Mountain. So if you've
Wow.
had a Coors beer, you've seen this mountain.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Cool.
my God.
um,
I think I
where-
was in high school when I had course,
oh well, this is
which
funny.
was 1986. Crap.
This was like our first summit we had,
Oh,
and that was in 2021.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Well,
most
you gotta
of these-
start somewhere.
not all, but most of these people have either written a chapter or been a speaker or. Oh well, I'll stop sharing. I'm just trying to find something I can't find.
going down memory lane.
I know. It's fun
That's
because
okay.
after the event, we'll have a celebratory call, except this time we might have authors from the first book join us.
Awesome.
Because when we did our celebratory call last time in February, there were a lot of them that were like, does this mean like we're not part of the community anymore because our book is over? And I'm like, no, you can always come. So
Awesome.
for them will join us too. And there are 5 people who wrote both books. So Lisa,
Does that mean if the next project isn't going, we can be in the November book?
well, we've passed the deadline to have a November book.
Oh, God.
Mm.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do May and September moving forward. So May is mental health month and September is suicide prevention month. So we'll have like a structured course, like 6 or 8 weeks prior to each book launch, where it's like a little more structure to it. And I think it will help us build community more.
Mm.
So that's what I'm planning. But I'm gonna stop the recording unless you guys have something else you want to add for.
Nope.
Okay.